Why Xennials are the last generation that still resists. Everyone talks about Gen X. Everyone dissects millennials. But almost nobody talks about the people stuck in the seam between them. The ones born close enough to analog life to remember silence. And young enough to be dragged into the digital world before their brains were fully done becoming who they were. That matters more than people think, because Xennials did not just grow up during change. They were shaped by contradiction, and that may be exactly why they are so hard to control. They remember a world where disappearing was normal. You left the house, and nobody knew where you were. You missed a call, and nothing happened. You embarrassed yourself, and the evidence died there. That kind of life did something to the human mind. It taught you that not every thought needs an audience. Not every moment needs proof. Not every feeling needs a post. Then the internet arrived, and it arrived fast. Not slowly, not gently. It rewired adulthood right as Xennials were entering it. So now you have this strange type of person in America. Someone who can use every app, learn every platform, adapt to every update, but deep down, still does not trust any of it. That is the part people miss. Younger generations often see technology as the environment. Older generations often see it as an intrusion. Xennials see it as a deal. Useful, yes, convenient, yes, but never free. Because they remember what it cost. They remember what disappeared when everything became instant. Attention got weaker, privacy got cheaper, patience got gutted, and people became more performative than honest. That is why Xennials can feel so irritating to everyone else. They are digital enough to survive this world, but analog enough to keep judging it. They know how to build an online life. They just do not fully respect one. And here is the more uncomfortable part. A lot of what younger people call anxiety today, Xennials would call overexposure. A lot of what is marketed as connection looks to them like dependency. A lot of what passes for identity looks like branding with better lighting. That sounds harsh, but maybe that is the point. Xennials came of age before every insecurity could be monetized. So they are much harder to hypnotize with constant visibility. Not impossible, just harder. Then came the financial hit. Right when they were supposed to become stable adults, the economy broke. Many entered the workforce near the 2008 crash. So now add that to the mix. A generation raised with old rules, forced into a new world, then punished for trusting it. Of course, they became skeptical. Of course, they learned to adapt without believing. Of course, they can look calm while expecting the floor to collapse. That is not cynicism. That is pattern recognition. And maybe that is why Xennials seem emotionally odd. They can be warm, but guarded, hopeful, but hard to impress. Comfortable online, but still hungry for something that feels real. They are not confused. They are bilingual. They speak before and after. They remember life before the algorithm got inside your self-worth. And they also know there is no going back. That may be what makes them the most psychologically dangerous microgeneration in America. Not dangerous because they are louder. Dangerous because they are harder to fully absorb. They know how the machine works, but they still remember what a human being felt like before the machine arrived. And once you remember that, it becomes a lot harder to worship the cage. Source inspiration came from the 2 reference transcripts and the uploaded source transcript.